How's it going, everybody? It's time for another great Mr. Poestyle video. And today I'm going to talk about the Pittsburgh Gaming Expo 2025. And I'm late, very late on this video. It's almost been 2 months since then. I've had the footage sitting here and just waiting for some time. Finally got a week off from work. Let's do this. Pittsburgh Gaming Expo. I've been there every year. And it gets better every year. It gets huger, especially the arcade. And then you got your vendors. So you got everything in one. Your shopping experience. You want to look for games, old games, consoles, etc. All kinds of things like that. And then you walk into the arcade, and there is an arcade. There's pinball, arcade machines, home consoles out the butt. You have live performances going on in another room. It gets bigger every year. More fabulous every year, greater guests every year. Now this year we have John Riggs for the third time, so for the third time I bought something from him just because. And this is the first year that we got the immortal John Hancock there. So it was awesome to finally get to meet him. Both of those guys are just really down to earth, you know. It's what you expect from watching their videos. I've watched them for years, so it's always cool to meet up, see those guys, maybe take some pictures and buy some merch from them, something from them, right? Now, I wasn't going to go to Pittsburgh Gaming Expo. I went back and forth on it. I wasn't really going to do it. Last year was the first year that my son was away, so I had to go by myself. With my health problems, a lot of times I'm not there for long before I don't feel well at all, and I probably should drive back home. Now, luckily for me, Monroeville Convention Center for the Pittsburgh Gaming Expo it's right in my backyard. It's close by, so it's probably the only convention that I'll ever get to. But since I love video games, I gotta try. But this year was kind of like, I don't think I'm gonna do it. You know, I didn't have my son there with me last year. I didn't last long there. Never saved any money up this time around at all for it. The other years, just barely a little bit of money here and there. I always see I want to buy everything, but really didn't save any money back. Didn't have any game plan for this. Met Retro Bliss there 2 years ago, and then he didn't make it last year. I met BD Retro Mods last year, and Dr. Scott was there last year too. I didn't want to bother him. Things were busy and stuff, but I knew he was going to be here again this year. Finally, when Bliss said it was a go, he was coming. Brian was going to be there. And Dr. Scott, I'm like, okay, I'm going to do this. And my buddy Josh, I've been friends with for years. We worked together at the same mill years and years ago. And then whenever that mill closed down, we both still work for the same company, just not the same location. Josh actually volunteered with his wife this year, and they helped do setup. So he was there. He got to stay there all 3 days. They gave him a 3-day pass for helping them set up and tear down at the end. Always love seeing him there as well. Just great friend and great gaming buddy. So, yeah, I had to make it this time around. But when I did walk in there, I wasn't feeling well. One of my medications that messes me up. I was a sweaty mess. So my apologies to Dr. Scott, because we did the whole man hug when we met, but I was already sweating. Same when I met with Bliss. Finally, everything calmed down by the time I met up with Brian from BD Retro Mods. Wasn't profusely sweating. What a big turn off that is, right? Wore my newest Popeye Boston Scally cap. Got a lot of compliments on that. And also the shirt that I'm wearing here, I wore there. And, you know, monster shirt. So John Riggs, of course, had something to say about my shirt. So did John Hancock. But, yeah, I had a fun time. We went through everything. You know, I hadn't even planned on recording this time around. That's the biggest problem I think I have with these things, is I'm not living in the moment. Going and doing the shopping, enjoying myself, playing the games and enjoying myself. All the other years it was like, camera go, as soon as I'm there. This year was a little bit different, and really recording was an afterthought. I wasn't even going to do it at that point. I came in and I did my shopping. I met with my friends and went through the arcade, and I'm like, okay, I was feeling really crappy at first. Started feeling a little better. I'm like, you know what? Yeah, I should record a little bit just for the channel. So I did put a little bit of time for myself this time around, and that makes a huge difference, I think, in your enjoyment of the thing. It's no longer a job. You know, it shouldn't feel like a job. I want to share all this stuff with everybody, but at the same time, I want to enjoy it firsthand, if you know what I mean. So I think this was a better way to go about it. And this time around, usually I turn the volume way down for the convention whenever I do these videos, and I put a soundtrack in there. But I thought this year, you know what, that's a lot more work too. If you think about it, it's a lot more work doing it that way. This time around, we'll do it a little bit easier on me, but at the same time, you're going to hear all the sounds that we hear at these conventions if you've never been to one, or if you have and you enjoy these sounds, the ambient sounds, the everything, the noise, the people talking, partial conversations that are interesting, but then you don't get to hear the whole thing. It's all going to be right here for you, authentic and 100%. This is what I heard. This is what you'll hear. So hopefully my voiceover comes through clear enough. Let's go to the Pittsburgh Gaming Expo 2025. 2 months ago. Take a look and see what I saw, and then we'll do a wrap up, and I'll show you what I bought. It's not a lot. It is not a lot, but that's okay. I'm happy with it anyway. All right, so here we are finally at the Pittsburgh Gaming Expo 2025, and I got a great parking space this year right up front, not down over the hill or anything like that. So walking in here, right from the beginning, you see a lot of cool stuff. As always, a lot of toys, things like that. Check out the Batman. Nice. Bam Bam. Now in here, I found Commando for the Atari 2600 when I walked through the first time. And it was like either $7 or $9. I just found it. I never had it for the 2600. So I had to grab it. That was a great price. I think it goes for something like $18 loose. So $7 or $9, either way, good deal. Never had the physical cartridge for the 2600. Have it, of course, for the NES and the 7800. These guys did have some great deals on stuff here. Lots of Mario 3 there. PlayStation 1, Jaguar, and television Donkey Kong. Some Sega CD games. Just a little bit of everything. PS4. Great people there, yeah, so I did buy that Commando from them. I've bought things from this booth in previous years as well.
What's in here? Super Nintendo. Tori, there's wrestlers in here. There's wrestlers in here. See you? Okay. No. Put it back for a second. That's a wrestler. Banana head.
NES. I love it. Always cool to see a little television thrown in there. TI 99 and 4A games, I believe there. Oh, whoops. Bumped that. Didn't mean to. I'm a big fella. Atari 5200. ColecoVision Super Action controllers in the box. One of the old handhelds. My friends had that Pac-Man back in the day. Got some WWF, LJN wrestling figures. Paul Orndorff, Mr. Wonderful on the top. Yeah. Mario is missing. Got Kung Fu for the Famicom. Kung Fu Master. Kung Fu. I already have that. Both the US and Famicom Japanese edition. Dragonfire. I love the Magic games. I love those boxes. Great to see all of this stuff together. Siphon Filter. I loved that game on my PS1 when I first got it. Little handhelds are always cool. There's a newer right down there. What? Peter Criss from Kiss. Plush doll. Yeah, that was one of the newer Atari games with the dip switches in the back they had there. And when I see Matchbox, I always think of my good friend Arcade Chaos, especially Snoopy. When I think of Peanuts, I think of him, so perfect. And I'm not into the collecting these myself, but I thought I'd throw those in there. Pretty cool.
So, everything that is not the Castlevania one for hoodie, 45.
5,200 games, 2,600 games. This is their merch. That's their shirt from last year. Must have been overstocked. They were selling them again. Just all kinds of things everywhere, right? Now I love these guys. They sell these huge oversized cartridges for all different systems. They're not really cartridges, of course. They're wall art. And I did end up getting one for the Gaming Road Warrior. Castlevania 3. I had that Godzilla when I was a kid. The fist would shoot off. He had fire that would come out of his mouth when you pressed the lever in the back. Wish I still had it. But I mean, I abused that thing as a kid. Always got to stop by when you see some NES games. Genesis ones there as well, but got to go through them. Lots of ice hockey there. I always got to grab the Tengen games too. I have an obsession for those, so I already own that one. If I see them, I gotta pull them out and take a look. That's what she said. See it in television. See it in NES. Cartridges galore. They're here every year. It's great. Love it. They have some of the best stuff at the show. But once you enter this place, you're stuck for a while. If people are standing there lined up, you're going to get stuck in there. So make sure you don't have to go to the bathroom or anything when you go in. There's a red Game Gear, huh? But yeah, cartridges galore have all the great stuff. I do believe they haggle as well for you there. And just tons of great stuff in there. Here we go. Don't expect to come out anytime soon. It has a Tanuki tail. I don't know. Raccoon City Tanuki tail. I don't know. There's a top loader. I don't have one in my collection. Not really looking to add one, but it's always neat to see. Lots of N64, lots of Switch games. These guys, they have it all. Game Genie. Got your Wii's stacked up over there. Wii U pads. Zelda. GameCube. Got your various Nintendo Switches there. GameCube controllers, N64. Like I said, decent prices, and I'm pretty sure they do haggle once you get up to the counter. They'll make you a deal. Always great stuff. Diddy Kong Racing, I already have that though, so fun game, very fun game. More NES games. Always tempted to buy from these guys every year. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. Popeye, I gotta point it out. That one has like a poop stain on it though, or something there. Someone was excited.
Game Boy, this is the one I bought in the store. Yeah, well, you don't see these in box.
Attack of the Killer Tomatoes. I don't have that one yet. It's pricier. Prince of Persia. Trying to put everything back where it belongs, but you know how that goes. Dash Galaxy. Just checking out various games, see what they are, look at them up close. Like you do. Paperboy 2 for the Super Nintendo, and Paperboy, the original, for the NES. Big time rentals for me and my buddy back in the day. We just loved playing that on a Friday or Saturday night sleepover. Loved those games back then. Lots of PS2s there. This is interesting. Coming up here. There you go. Neo Geo. Always expensive. 200 bucks. A few more here. Got the EverDrive for it. That's the thing to have, but still pricey as hell. The Last of Us. Loved that game when it first came out. Never did finish The Last of Us 2. Didn't get very far in it at all before I just didn't play it.
It's more than one.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Pleasure doing business.
I've enjoyed
There's your 4-switch Witties. Gotta have your Atari in these videos. Then, of course, your Sega CD, Genesis 2, Genesis 1 over there. Here's your Saturns, your Dreamcast, and your Master System. I'm really surprised about the price increase in the Master System lately compared to when I bought mine. And, of course, Xbox controllers. Lots of Genesis cards, 32X, Sega Master System. Commons, mostly.
If you're cool with it, let's get you to stay up.
Well, here we go. Coming up, the Hyperscan. I like to joke around about the Hyperscan with Mike's Gaming Gal. That's like an inside joke, but there it is. They had it. They had a lot of games for it and a controller for it there. Maybe should have jumped on it just because. I mean, you don't hear anybody really talk about this thing. There are the games. There's the controller. I should have bought the whole lot, but I wasn't planning on it, so it didn't happen. Jaguar games. Wow. You also see some 3DO games and some CDI games here. Turbo graphics, of course. Bonk. Jeopardy on the CDI. Who doesn't want to play that, right? Am I right? Road Rash 3DO. Everyone says it's the best version. I still don't have it for my 3DO. I should have bought it that day. And there's an Atari VCS. Just kind of surprised to see that there. $199. I already have one. Dreamcast.
Most of these things.
Looking at the VCS, I have one. I don't play it.
I met up with my buddy there, my old work friend, good friend of mine, Josh. On to some Atari 5200. I believe that guy always reminded me of like a John Belushi or Artie Lang type. With the face on there. 2600 games. Just commons. I have probably all of these. I do from a quick glance. Continuing on. I don't know what he is, but he was funny looking. There's some foods, some snacks if you're into that. These games are locked up. They must be important.
Shit happened.
He was saying that
There's John Riggs, third year at the Pittsburgh Gaming Expo. John Hancock's booth there. He was out doing an appearance, I believe, a panel probably at that time. These guys sell marquees, and then they have little marquees on keychains. I was so tempted, man. So tempted. This is awesome right here. Brian Collin. I don't usually geek out, but Brian Collin, he's a hero. Xenophobe. and especially Rampage. These are games that we played all the time when we got out. My brother and my best friend loved it, especially Rampage because it was at a local store. So every time my mom would shop there, that Rampage was the only thing they had in the lobby. My brother and I would just play it forever while she was shopping. We would save our paper route money to play Rampage. So I did meet him. So cool to meet him. There he is, Dr. Scott, walking the other way. Just walking around. If you haven't checked out Game Closet, go check out Game Closet. One of the great YouTube channels out there. And Scott's just such a cool dude, so. I did end up buying games from this place, actually before the video was shot. A lot of great choices here too, and they also work with you at this place. You see the name on that? Gary Kitchen. Now let's go back through the games. What's this game? David Crane. David Crane, Gary Kitchen. Activision. Audacity Games. These are their NES games.
Like that? Oh, I use that face on my website. Right on Facebook. Would that be good?
I saw some guy spending, I think it was over $500 here. They were making deals with him with just games. He was loading them up in a box. Got a little Star Wars Universe parade going on here, so I figured I would stand by till they got past. This cosplay is always a thing.
Because you have your elemental attacks and you have your special attacks.
Little pink R2 unit, a biker scout.
The storyline doesn't change, but you know, and then they come out with DLC.
Vanilla Stormtrooper, you know, some Mandalorians, that kind of stuff. Just a normal day at the Gaming Expo. More N64s, of course, Super Nintendo, NES, PlayStation 1, Xbox original. The OGs, N64 controller. This guy had a bit of everything. And there he has VHS. And I never look down on anybody's collections, but I do kind of laugh at VHS for those of us who lived it as our first form of physical movie media. At least speaking for myself, I was happy to move on to DVDs, Blu-rays, and ultra-high def DVDs compared to VHS. But people are collecting them now. They might be a bit younger than me. Maybe it was at the tail end when they were younger, so it's nostalgic to them. So more power to them. Got a reflection on here. They had most of their stuff locked up here, a little higher priced. But there's Wayne's World and Beavis and Butthead together, right? The power couples of the 90s. And I had both of those games at one time for my Super Nintendo. There's a little patch of NES games, so I gotta stop. Action set. It's always tough recording at these places because, I mean, I'm a nobody trying to record stuff, but people were trying to shop. I don't want to get in their way, and then they look at me and they try to dodge me. And Televoice, more Genesis, so it's a little awkward, but I like to have videos of these things, little keychains, little handhelds. You know, whatever you can think of, and then some. Yeah, I like to record at these things, but I don't want to get in anybody's way, so I try to wait. There, if you're into card collecting and Magic cards and stuff like that, Pokemon, they have everything there for you. There's an orange zapper. Bump and Jump. Love that game from M Network on 2600. My brother had it. I have it now. Always a fun game. A little triple action going on there. This is the sequel to Go-Go 13. Loved Go-Go 13. My best friend had it growing up. I borrowed it. I own it now. Love that game. Still don't have the sequel. Remote Control. Remember that on MTV? Adam Sandler doing the skits. You got a nice little mix of Intellivision games and Atari 2600 games here in box. G.I. Joe. You always got to look though, because a lot of people are selling the same games, so you want to check them out. Find out that you saw the better price earlier, so you run back over to get it, and then it's gone. So there's always that. There's the expansion module for the ColecoVision to play your 2600 games, but I already have it. Bins of various controllers. You'll see a lot of that at these conventions. There might just be something in there you want. Just start digging. There's some demo discs for the PlayStation from PlayStation Magazine, U.S. official PlayStation Magazine. I have a huge collection of those from back in the day. I couldn't really see buying any new ones. Plus, I didn't have a list of what I already had, so I'm not just going to buy them blind and find out I already have them at home. But this is another booth that's always here every year in the same spot, and lots of great stuff. It wraps the whole way around, and you'll see the guy has a lot of old computers, lots of cool games, lots of cool consoles and games for those consoles, computer games, just everything. And a lot of stuff that you're able to actually play. I did buy something or a few things from him this year again. I do about every year. Well, there you go. You don't see it every day. An Aladdin deck enhancer for your NES. I was really tempted. I came back and looked at this thing several times over and thought about getting it just to have it. But in the end, I didn't. I should have. It probably won't be there next year. He has a lot of magazines. And this is still all his stuff. It wraps the whole way around. Inside here he has a lot of Game Boy games, or Game Boy Color games maybe. Yeah. My son would be very interested in this. Some Famicom games in there. Why not? Alien Syndrome. Love that game. I hear an R2 unit. Do you hear an R2 unit? Unit. Got some of the plug and plays here. Wheel of Fortune. A little bit of everything, really. I have that Pac-Man plug and play at home. Ooh, Pac-Man, Atari 8-bit. Odyssey 2. Games for everything. A little Frogger, and it works. Cubert. These would be cool. I really don't have a place to display them. I could if I put up more shelving, but there's nobody there to look at them anyway, so no reason to display in my game room, really. You can see an Odyssey 2 voice module over there. The Telstar. ColecoVision with an Atom controller. It's an added bonus. Another Telstar gun system. Yeah, these guys always have a lot of good stuff. Sonic Fury. I already have that. VCR game for your Action Max. Did a video years back. Check it out. Your various 2600 and television games sit in there. Atari 5200 Centipede play in there. You could use the trackball. I did. ColecoVision games. Oh, Imagic and television games. Love Imagic. Atari Soft Centipede for your Intellivision. Here we go. Popeye, Parker Brothers for the Intellivision. The gold label. Of course I already have that. Somebody fired up Centipede on the 5200. And right next to it we have Popeye for the ColecoVision. I have that of course as well, so they're always fun to see them out. Your Intellivision boxed games. Lots of people had them this time around. And go over into their 2600 bins over here.
Plus the fruit. No, I was thinking that would be nice.
Gotta play with the trackball. Very responsive. Also very expensive. Bliss even asked them about it. Too expensive for our blood. Data age games. Yeah, I should have just grabbed a bunch of data age games, stocked up on them, good or bad. I don't have a lot of them. Sneak and peek. This guy always has sneak and peek. Every year I've been there, he's had sneak and peek. He has even more this year than he did before. I actually bought one from him last year, finally. I broke down and bought one. And now he has even more. Communist Mutants from Space. It's the supercharger. I was tempted to get that as well, but I didn't. I don't have a supercharger. I don't really think I need it. Lots of instruction manuals over there. Now we're heading to the arcade. We did our shopping. It's time to play some games. Yes, it gets really loud in here. Right off the bat, you got some pinball, of course. This is interesting, a 4-player pinball table. It's like an octagon shape. 4 people are playing, all 4 have plungers and buttons. Now, I didn't catch it on tape, but at one point they rotated the whole board. They all sat where they are and turned the table. So I never got a chance to play this while I was there. Never have seen anything like this in my life. 4-player pinball. Everybody has plungers and buttons.
You can rotate the table for some reason, switch positions. G. Parker has that baby right in his house. Arcade games. Gotta love it.
I mean, I have fighting games now.
Come on, look out, baby.
Have fun.
head-to-head pinball game is always cool to see. Two players at once. And then all of your console gaming over on that side. Crazy how many consoles they have and games and old computers. Just play it all free with your price of admission. There's your pinball tournaments. You weren't allowed to enter there, of course, unless you were in the tournament. But I think later on, they open that back up for anybody to play. It's just going to tournaments. You can't go in unless you're a participant.
Yeah, level 1 clear. We did it. 3 points.
More pinball. pinball. We're coming up on the Vectrix full-size arcade cabinet with overlays for the game. Right on a full-size cabinet. Such a cool experience. Choose your game, roll in your overlay, and go to town. Full-size, baby. Not a mini. Back here you have some rhythm games going on, some competitions. And more of the home consoles. There's tons of them. Whatever you can think of pretty much is there. It's always great seeing people, young and old, parents, children, grandparents, sharing their love for video games. TurboGrafx, Saturn, PlayStation 1. Love these monitors. They've returned now for maybe the third or fourth time. Japanese monitors. People are always asking about them and wanting to buy them. Me as well. Just love those little red monitors. There the Vectrix sets alone. They actually had a few of these there. Nobody's there. What the hell, man? You got some of these Japanese cabinets over here. They are always packed with people waiting to play. see, there's just so much action going on everywhere. Mario Paint. The cheese stands alone. Hogan's Alley, love it. My first light gun game for the NES.
I just saw it.
When you go back in this room, they have live bands playing all weekend long. But there are also some games in here. So you can play some computer games, and arcade cabinets are hidden back in here as well. But yeah, you'll have your live entertainment back here. But at the end of the day, the most important thing to me now going to these is meeting up with friends. My old work buddy Josh, and of course Retro Bliss here. Loved seeing him and his wife. It was a surprise, but even though I knew he was going to be there, just loved seeing the man. Brian from BD Retro Mods, a great friend. I met him last year for the first time. And then seeing other people like John Riggs, his third year there, my third year meeting him. I always have to buy something from him just because. And this year, for the first time ever, the immortal John Hancock was there. Such a great down-to-earth guy, just like John Riggs. Loved meeting him too. But I got to meet Dr. Scott. Oh, whoops. The wrong part of the video. This is Brian Collin, my hero of Rampage and Xenophobe fame. Now, Dr. Scott from Game Closet. Just such a great dude. Loved meeting him. And plan to see him again soon.
Okay, so there you have it. That is the Pittsburgh Gaming Expo 2025 from a few months ago. I did have a great time. Wasn't feeling great at all at the beginning of that. And but I started feeling at least a little bit better. Didn't spend all day long there. But I had to see my buddy Retro Bliss. I had to see Dr. Scott from Game Closet, Brian from BD Retro Mods, and of course my hero was there. Mr. Collin was there from Rampage, Xenophobia fame. Just loved those games, so I had to tell him how much I loved it. And he told me that's the whole reason he does these conventions. He loves to hear the stories. He actually pulled back part of his display to get me in there so we could get a picture taken, and he had somebody else take the picture of us together. Such a great guy. I've since started following him on Facebook. Just a real genuine dude, and my gaming hero, at least one of them anyway. But we had a great time there. The best part of this whole thing, especially this year, was just meeting with friends. And that's only going to get bigger, right? We're going to meet more and more friends as time goes on. So if I can, I will be in as many of them as I can in the future, if that is possible. Work and health and family allowing this to happen, I'll be there. Maybe I'll try to save for it. That never really happens much because there are so many other good things that I just want to buy to play for the channel and for myself throughout the year. So it's hard to save for these kind of things specifically, but I end up spending more than you want to, right? But I had a great time. If there was any game there or anything that you saw that was for sale or any games in the arcades, drop it in the comment, timestamp it, we'll talk about it. A lot of stuff there to look at, a lot of stuff to take in. So here's my bag, and I haven't opened it since that day. This is what I bought. It's not a lot, so this won't take long. A lot of it might be a surprise to me. I bought turtles. For the Intellivision, this was programmed by Brian, my buddy Brian from Brian's Man Cave, and this is the Immortal John Hancock's release. He had it there at the Pittsburgh Gaming Expo, which is awesome because we never see things first there, not very often. And I had to buy it off of him. Now, I didn't have him sign the box, but that's okay because these cartridges that we have here, he'd already signed them on the back, and I got number 4, Tortoise number 4, that's right. Number 4. Do you have a lower number than me? You might. Bliss probably does. I think he bought one the day before I did. I think he was there for all 3 days, or at least 2 of the days. But I have number 4. And really, I don't know if he knows who he handed these out to, what they were numbered, so maybe Bliss doesn't have a lower number. There's the overlay. We have a full color manual. We will do a video on this soon, of actually playing it on... Sorry, trying to get it back in there. On my Intellivision 2 system, even though it has a few problems right now. So that is what I bought from the Immortal John Hancock, and I'm very, very, very happy to be able to actually buy a brand new homebrew at the Pittsburgh Gaming Convention. This might just seem like a normal everyday thing if you're at the Portland Gaming Expo, but that's very special, you know, when you're going to the Pittsburgh Gaming Expo. Another thing that I bought was Commando for the Atari 2600. This is a game that I saw immediately when I walked in there. Dr. Scott later told me that he saw it and missed it. Bliss was upset that he somehow totally missed it. He actually tried to steal it from me and run away with it. I have this, of course, for the NES since I was a kid. I've had that one. I have it for the 7800. That's one of 2 games that actually had the Pokey chip. The other was Ball Blazer. And now I have the game for the 2600. So this cost me, I think, was either $7 or $9. Either way, however you want to say it, that's still very cheap. I think it goes for something like $18 loose, something like that, according to Price Chart. So that was the second thing that I bought. And again, we're almost done here already with what I bought. I didn't even remember buying this until I just now looked at it, Shinobi. And I said it in the video there, I just love the Tengen games. You know, the unlicensed cartridges, love them. So if there's another one that I see, a lot of times I'll just try to grab it and pick it up. Still have many to go on that front. But another thing that I got just for the heck of it, well, the unlicensed games, Micro Machines. I was a little bit older when the actual toys came out, but of course you remember the commercials with the guy that talked really fast. He was real famous. They would hire him for everything in the 80s there. Micro Machines. But a lot of people say it's a good game, so I picked it up. Unlicensed game, got the gold cartridge there. You got the switch, the bypass, the lockout chip on the NES on the back there. So there you go. That is the 4th purchase. And finally, sorry about that, guys. My camera cut off for no reason whatsoever once again. I always buy something from John Riggs. The last 3 years he's been there. I already have a lot of his home brews, so there wasn't anything really on the table that I wanted to grab, but The Goonies is one of my favorite games of all time. Now, if you know anything about the NES, all we got over here was Goonies 2. But I did buy Goonies the original, and I've played it on my channel, the Famicom version of it. Might have to do that again at some point. But he just threw together like a translated version, which I don't think there was much to translate in this game, you know, aside from title screen or whatever. But he threw it together on this nice bronze cartridge, gold cartridge or whatever. So what the heck, you know, I always grab something off of him when I'm there. So that's what I grabbed. Such a nice personal guy. Why not just grab something for the memory's sake? You know, this was Pittsburgh Gaming Expo 2025, and this is what I bought from Mr. Riggs. I've bought a lot of stuff off of his Etsy and stuff through the years. But that was it. Yeah, let me know what you think in the comments down below of my pickups. of the video? Did you like that I just left it extra loud? Made it easier for me just to leave the sounds in there, but it's also something that just throws back the old days of these arcades, just stuff going on, you know, and conversations and all the sounds of all the games blending together in a melody of love. Melody of love. But it did save me a lot of work not having to put a soundtrack in there and mute half of it and or lower the volume in half of it. But that was it. Pittsburgh Gaming Expo 2025. I had a great time. I do plan on returning if I can, and especially to see all my old friends again, and hopefully some of you. But put your thoughts down in the comments down below. Thank you for joining me for another great Mr. Poestyle video, and I hope to see you on the next one. Well, that's right, on the next one. Let's do this.
Joystick in hand, eyes on the screen, Mr. Poestyle, an arcade machine. Blips and bloops, a symphony of sound. High scores calling another round. From Atari joysticks and television's keys, he conquered consoles with such ease. ColecoVision's wonders, he knew them all. Master of pixels.
Oh, Nacho. Come here, Nacho. No biting. No biting. Ooh, no biting. Oh, Nacho, stop.